Hey guys, it's Madame Crufelli, the Undead Fortune Teller, and tonight on the Horrorific review, Night of the Lepus. So, Night of the Lepus. What can I say about this movie? First off, let's go through the basics. So, this movie is rated PG. It was released in 1972, directed by William F. Clayton. Some of the big stars from this movie are Stuart Whitman, Janet Leigh, and Rory Calhoun and DeForest Kelley. So, let's get to the tagline for this cinematic masterpiece. I'm sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face. So, the tagline for Night of the Lepus. They were born that tragic moment when science made its great mistake. Dun dun dun. Now, from behind the shroud of night, they come, a scuttling, shambling horde of creatures, destroying all in their path. They're bunnies. Cute bunnies. So, I will go through my likes and dislikes in a minute. First, I have a rating system for movies. First, I have to choose the subgenre. So, for this subgenre, I went with monsters because there's not something that naturally happens. I do have a category of nature and animals, and although these are bunnies, because they're so big, I went to the monster category. Where do I even start with this movie? My biggest dislike about this movie is that they tried to be serious. This is a movie about big attacking bunnies. Literally, bunnies. Cute bunnies. And they tried to be serious. I'll go through my ratings of it, and then I'll go through the likes of the movie. So, for plot. Plot of the movie is that basically these bunnies are overpopulating. I guess a couple years prior, they had a coyote problem, or I think it was coyotes, or animals that were taking out the farmers' livestock and whatnot. So they destroyed a huge chunk of these predators, and now the bunnies are left to just go crazy. And they're overpopulated. They're destroying all the farmers' crops. All the farmers are getting upset. They need to do something. So, Farmer 1. This movie starts out, this poor guy's just riding his horse out in the country. Boom, his horse trips in a rabbit hole, breaks its leg, and the guy's to put his horse down. Tragic. Sad music. So, they're just showing that there's a bunny problem. They're showing scenes, I believe this takes place down south, I want to say like Arizona, out west somewhere. So anyway, there's a huge bunny population problem that they need to take care of. Farmer does not want to use chemicals, for it's going to kill the land for how many years, so he wants to do it a smart way. One of his friends is like, oh, there's just so conveniently these couple of scientists, maybe they can help. So he goes to his scientist friends. That's not their area of expertise. They're pretty much studying bats at the moment, but because the farmer does not want to use chemicals, these scientists don't want anyone to resort to using chemicals because they know what the environmental effects are going to be, so they're willing to help them. So they come up with this plan that they're going to take bunny specimens, inject them with some type of hormone that's supposed to make it impossible for them to breed. I don't know if it's changing them. I forget how it's changing them, but it's basically affecting their hormones so they're not breeding, and then the population isn't increasing anymore, and that's how they're planning to attack it. The only problem is there is an annoying little girl who wants this one particular bunny, even though this bunny has been injected with these hormones that they're not sure of the effects. So they want to keep them in a control group, and a little bratty child decides she's going to change the rabbit's cages around so she can keep the bunny that she wants. So they do let her keep the bunny, thinking that the bunny that she wants is in the control group. And it's not exactly in the control group. It's in one of them that's been injected with these hormones. So little girl takes the bunny, goes to her other little friend's house. He is not happy about these rabbits because he sees his dad getting upset because rabbits are eating all the crops. So he's angry, he sees the bunny, he's like, you can't keep that here, and he takes the bunny out of her arms and just throws it away, and the bunny escapes. So the bunny obviously goes and creates more bunnies. So when these bunnies come back, they have increased in size, and apparently these cute little bunnies are now attacking people. So it increased their anger, ferocity, ferociousness, and they wreak havoc and start killing people, start killing horses, blah blah blah. So again, that's the plot of it. Cinematography. So this category is all about like clarity, shot angles, perspective, lighting, editing, etc. I gave the plot a 2 because although the bunnies are ridiculous, it is somewhat believable that altering the hormones could change the size of them and alter their personalities, so to speak, or how they handle themselves, I guess. So now onto cinematography. Granted, this was 1974, but you could tell they obviously had a very big budget for this. Again, Janet Leigh's in it, who was coming off of her Psycho success. Also, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom. Big actress at the time. So cinematography. Excuse me. My lips are chapped. Cinematography, I gave a 3. So again, 1974. It's not going to be nearly as clear as the cinematography and cameras capacity of this day and age, but for the time it was pretty good. They had a good budget for the time. So I gave that a 3. I thought, granted, it was absolutely ridiculous to think that a cute little bunny is going to be this ferocious creature, regardless of what kind of effects they added to it, with the lion roaring and the perspective. But I did think they did the perspective angles well. They kind of flowed pretty well. They slowed down how the rabbits move, so it made it a little bit more believable. So I thought they really handled that well. Acting. The adult actors were believable. They were fine. I had no problem with the adult acting. The kid acting, however, it was torturous to watch. Little girl, super annoying. Her voice was super annoying. The little boy tried to be all tough guy, but it just wasn't believable at all. The kid actors were not impressive at all. But again, the adult acting was very good. Janet Leigh is an amazing actress, along with the male actors in this. Dialogue, writing, interactions, one-liners. There's no lines in the movie that are really going to stand out and be memorable to me. It flowed fine. There just wasn't anything really memorable about the dialogue. Scene and character memorability. The rabbits, although they were cute and not believably ferocious, I will remember the silliness of the rabbit scenes and the roaring. They will stick out in my head, but not in a, oh my goodness, I am so creeped out way, in this is absolutely ridiculous way. So I gave scene memorability a 2, dialogue I gave a 2, I'm not sure if I said that. And this is all ratings out of 5. Scene, effects, makeup, creatures. It was not believable that they were ferocious. It just wasn't. They're bunnies. They kept real rabbits and just distorted the size and added roaring sound effects is all they did. So were they believable as bunnies? Yes, because they were actually bunnies. Were they believable as ferocious bunnies? No. I don't care how much ketchup or tomatoes or jelly you have these bunnies eat. Not buying it. I'm sorry. Creepy imagery, I gave a 0. There was nothing creepy about this movie whatsoever, other than that they tried to make it serious. That's pretty creepy. It's a bunny movie. Death scenes, a 0. They had a death scene where the bunnies killed a truck driver, and I shit you not, the arms and the legs were cut off, straight cuts, just laying next to the torso. There was no ripping, there was a little bit of blood, but I'm assuming if these bunnies that were like supposedly 150 pounds apiece went and they tore apart a body, they wouldn't be neatly sliced, an arm would not be neatly sliced off the shoulder laying next to a torso. It would have been eaten up a little bit. So death scenes were not believable at all. They just weren't. Sound, background, and voices. There was sound continuity. I didn't have to, as far as I remember, I didn't have to go back and forth with the volume between the talking and the sound effects. It seemed pretty well balanced, which was good. The music fit the time that it came out. The whole 70s. I can't even describe it, but they all had a certain type of music back then, and it's that type of music. I'll give an example if I can find a clip, but it's very fitting of the time. Soundtrack. There's nothing memorable really about the soundtrack. They didn't have any song that was the theme of the movie, nothing like that. So the background sound I gave a 2, soundtrack I gave a 2, probably could have given a 1, but I'll be generous because I gave a couple zeros. So over rating based on the genre out of 5, they got a 1.7 out of 5 for this movie. So if you go on a rating system based off of 10, a 3.4. So all in all, not a good movie. I mean, I would recommend seeing it just for the mere amusement of seeing cute bunnies that they try to make ferocious sounding. That's laughable and fun. If you're looking for cheesy, even though this obviously they were trying to be serious, but if you're looking at it from a cheesy angle like I was, it was pretty funny and laughable. Like when you see little cute little lop-eared bunnies roaring like lions, it's hilarious. So let me go to my likes. I liked that everything made sense with the plot, that they destroyed the animals of prey to save their farm animals, and because of this there was a natural reaction that the bunnies overpopulated. That's believable. I like when things are believable. I don't like when things are so far-fetched that it's not believable. So that's believable. A farmer wanting to avoid the chemicals, I like that. It's admirable, so I like that part of it. And of course there were others that just wanted to bomb the shit out of these bunnies and get rid of them and not care about the after effects. That's believable. Hormones to control the population. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how that stuff works, but it seems like if you're decreasing their natural instincts to want to procreate, it makes sense. So when you're altering the hormone levels, it makes sense to me. The fact that they would get bigger because of the hormones is somewhat believable. Getting as big as they supposedly did, that's a reach, but you're altering hormones, so I could see how it could affect the size. Another thing I liked about it that made me giggle, the scientist with the hair like a munchkin. I'm assuming male pattern baldness, you don't keep a little curly in the front top of your head, so that was kind of cute and amusing. Kind of very Wizard of Oz, Lollipop Kin-ish. Just saying, so that was amusing. It made me giggle. There were a bunch of rabbit attacking and rabbit scenes that were kind of hilarious. Rabbit smiling, very amusing to me. When he whacks the rabbit with the bat, that was kind of amusing to me. Not gonna lie. When the bunny emerges from the ground when they're presumed dead, let us call it the bunny scene. The roar, hilarious. Close-up bunny clips were kind of amusing, especially when they added the roaring sound to them. Bunny attacking a horse, amusing. Anything with a snarling bunny, just it made me giggle, I can't help it. When the frantic driver trips and is attacked by the bunny, the girly scream is hilarious. Oh no! The woman in the store having such a resemblance to the old classic Twilight Zone episode. Forgive me, I can't remember what the episode is called at this moment, but it was the episode of the Twilight Zone where everyone looked the same and they were very pig-nosed like, and there was one woman that was, by our standards, very, very beautiful, but because she didn't look like everyone else, she was, oh, this poor woman, she's so hideous. Well, the woman in the store in the movie looks just like all the pig people in the Twilight Zone. Just saying. And just when the bunnies were just chilling in the general store, like they're wrecking shit, like it strikes me as like vegans out of control. Just like fruits and vegetables strewn all over the floor. It was just too much. It was too much. So those are my likes from the movie. The dislikes I already went over. Biggest dislike and complaint about this movie is that they tried to make something so ridiculous as killer cute bunnies serious. That was my biggest dislike. It's like if you're making a movie about killer bunnies, embrace the cheese. Grab the nachos, put some queso in, put some salsa in there, and embrace the cheese. Don't try to be serious with something like this. What? On another note, though, it made it funnier. Trying to be serious and there's just so ridiculous of a plot. It was laughable. Bottom line, cute bunnies aren't scary. They're just not. I don't care how much you distort the size. It's just a bigger, lovable, cuddly teddy bear. I can't help it. So again, overall rating for this movie, 1.7 out of 5 or 3.4 out of 10. So even though they try to be serious, if you're up for a cheesy movie, I would recommend seeing it. Just keep in mind, you're not going to be scared. You're not going to, but you will be probably entertained. So that is my review of Night of the Lepus. It is available on Amazon. I believe the last price that I saw it for was $9.99. So I have a link below if you're interested in buying it. It may be streaming now, I'm not sure. I paid to rent it just because I hadn't seen it in so long. I had to refresh my memory and I just wanted to see it. And I also have a link if you like it, or if it's as memorable to you as it was to me as a child seeing it. I remembered it. That name is always going to stick in my head, even though it was very cheesily delicious. I have a link to the movie poster down below also if you're interested in having a movie poster of the Night of the Lepus. I think they did multiple versions. I'll have one of the versions down below. If I find other versions, I'll add them to the description. At this point, I only found one movie poster so far, but let me know what you thought of Night of the Lepus. I'd love to hear your thoughts because, again, I went through everything that I thought about this movie and I'd love to hear from you. So that is the HORRORific review of Night of the Lepus. I'm Madame Crufelli, the Undead Fortune Teller. I have HORRORific reviews and I also post bi-monthly oracle card readings if you're interested in that also. See what's in for your future in between your movie watching. So If you'd like to keep up on the latest videos that I post, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any reviews, any readings. And again, comment, let me know what you think. I'll talk to you later till we meet again.